Today we're taking a look at how to add text in Adobe Premiere. There's 3 easy ways to do it. Let's jump in. So we're already in the timeline here. The video file is here. We just have to add your text. By default, to the left of the timeline, there are some icons here. All the way at the bottom, there's a letter T. That is a type tool, so click that. And then click anywhere in the frame that you want to add the text. Now, I'm going to get to formatting the text in a moment, but I want to show you 2 other ways to get to this where you're adding text. Even easier than that is, I love short keys. I'm a big fan of short keys. If you press the letter T on your keyboard, you are automatically now in the type tool. By default, it's on the selection tool or the letter V on your keyboard. Again, these are default hotkeys in Premiere. But press T, that opens the type tool, and then just click anywhere on the frame you want to go, and then go to town. Alternatively, let's back out of that, the Essential Graphics panel. It's not usually open by default, so you can go to Window, Essential Graphics, it'll pop open. And you can, of course, the way Premiere is, you can always move these things and modify it however you need to. But right here are the Essential Graphics. You can search for something very specific, or you can kind of scroll down and see what they have. Very, very easy. If you want to do something, for example, on one of those coming soon text on the bottom of the screen that's extremely intense to create, they have that for you here. Let's just scroll down. Here we go. Click on that, bring it onto your timeline. Let's say we want it to come up right here. Boom, look how fancy that is. Of course, you can shut off that effect, but that's another way to add text. It doesn't have to be something fancy, it can be something very, very basic. And then from there, of course, it's just default. It's just white text on a clear background with that font, and you can modify it. So those are the 3 ways to get text on here. Now let's modify it. I'm going to take out that Essential Graphics. I'm going to press T. Close this panel, just give us a little bit more real estate here to look at what we're doing. It's a drone shot from El Paso, Texas. All right, so let's highlight that whole thing. And in the Effect Controls panel, we'll twirl down this spot here where it says Text. And the text next to text in brackets is going to say whatever you just typed. So in this case, El Paso, Texas. Change the font. Let's say Rubik is one of my favorite fonts here. Okay. And make it a little bit larger. Right here is where you can scale it up. If the font has different weights to it, different styles, that'll be in this drop down right here. So let's say bold, just so it stands out, there's a little bit more contrast. Okay. I'll go back to the selection tool or press V. Fine tune where you want it to go. And you can add other things to it as well. You can add a stroke. So let's say we want to have a black stroke around the letter. Stroke meaning basically an outline. Now by default, it's very hard to see. It's only a 1-point stroke. Let's go in here and say, I don't know, 10. Make it more obvious. A little bit harder to see on the small screen. Let's say 50, so you really get an idea. That's a little bit corroncho, so I don't know if you want to put that there. A little tacky. But also you can add shadow. We can add background as well to it inside of the bounding box of the text field. So all kinds of things you can do. Now I encourage you to take your time and go through this text effects controls and play with the different things. If you think you want it all caps but you're not sure, one thing I would do is I would write it normal. So you capitalize the first letter of the word, things like that. And then with this highlighted, then you go over here and say caps, all caps. And that'll change it. That way, if you decide later on, hey, I don't want all caps, instead of having to retype everything, you just highlight it and you unselect all caps. So that could be a big time saver. Now this looks a little bit, yeah, again, cheesy, so let's get rid of some of this situation. And that's it. I mean, play with this to your heart's content. So those are 3 quick ways to add text to your Adobe Premiere project. Again, jump in. Your homework is to go through all those fields because there's extra horsepower in there you don't even know is there. And they're always adding new things and tweaking things here and there at Adobe. So I encourage you to do that. Enjoy. I don't know why I said enjoy. Anyway, good luck with your project, and I will see you next time.